And we are live. Hey guys, this is Ruben Dua from the Dubb Action Online Summit. And today I am with Reggie. Reggie and I are going to get into this conversation about personal branding, defining moments. There's so many interesting things in this conversation. Reggie, if you could start with a short bio and then let's get into the topic.
Well, thanks for having me, Ruben. So, Reggie Waterman, who am I? I am the host of Discover Your Other Self that I have live on LinkedIn. It's a virtual community where we bring on guests every week to talk about daily life struggles and how we overcome those struggles to offer up inspiration, motivation. I also have 15 years marketing experience, so have a lot of passion for marketing just to drive awareness and help brands, really make an impression within the marketplace.
What does it mean to define your X factor? Can you explain that?
Yeah, defining your X factor is all about personal branding. So what I mean by that, it's about what makes you unique, what makes you different. What are those gifts and talents that you personally have that you can leverage as a strength to create impact? So all of us have it. If you think about your fingerprint, this is unique to each one of us. And that means that we all have a unique gift and talent that we could expose to the world. And it's about tuning into what that gift and talent is. And the thing is that what you could do is find out what you do best at and figure out ways to either monetize it or offer that up as a service to others.
Okay, so guide us on how we can truly understand what that is. And if we don't yet know what it is, guide us on the process to become more self-realized in that capacity.
So I'm glad you asked that question, Ruben. I actually developed a framework called the time matrix. And the time actually stands for this is me. And the
Okay.
reason why I did this is because it's all about personal branding and it's a 4-quadrant matrix. So on the top left-hand corner, you'll need to identify what you don't want in your life or your career. And then on the top right-hand corner, you'll write down what you want out of your life and your career. And then on the bottom left-hand corner, what are my superpowers? So what makes me unique? What makes me different? And then bottom right-hand corner is about this time next year. So just to kind of give you some examples, if I think about what I don't want in my life, for example, many of us are, when you think about your career, well, I don't want to work for a bad boss, or I don't want to work for a company that doesn't align with my values. As long as I could identify that immediately, that gets it out of the way, and I could clearly focus on what I want. So what I want is I want a boss that allows me to create. I want a company that allows me to make an impact in the world. And then when it comes to your superpowers, well, I'm a kick-ass presenter. I'm an awesome writer. I'm gonna, I could connect with people. And I leverage those talents in order for me to get the life and career that I want. And then when you think about this time next year, well, that's the manifestation process. It's about visualizing yourself, utilizing those superpowers to live the life that you want. So this time next year, well, after this whole COVID-19 thing goes away, I want to be able to travel more, right? I want to write a book or launch a book, I should say. I want to broaden my audience for my live stream. Or it could be, I want to increase my LinkedIn network by 50%. These are all things that I need to write down in terms of goals, and the manifestation allows me to accomplish those.
Okay, and then how does this parlay into personal branding? Once we have discovered what these items are, how does that build upon our personal brand?
Yeah, you're asking all the right questions. So the reason why we have this framework is because, and it stands for, again, this is me. This is me is about your personal brand. Nobody could take it away from you. Believe it or not, you are a brand. If you think about Nike, for example, it's a brand that's made up of people. Nike can't be a brand without the people that are behind the marketing, behind the engineering for the actual product that they deliver on, right? And so forth. So this framework right here will pretty much give you that roadmap and our template to help you identify, okay, well, what are, again, my superpowers? How can I leverage that to create impact and or live the life that I want to live?
Okay, got it. That makes sense. So as we build our personal brand, how can we create content? How can we create community? How can we create commerce? How do all those things happen as a result of creating that personal brand? I have found that a lot of people have a hard time connecting the dots. Guide us there.
So just like any brand would, I gave you the example of Nike. Nike, and just like you, has a value proposition. That value proposition is the value that you are offering the workplace or offering the marketplace, I should say. But personally, we all have a unique story. And there's so much power in the story that we have to tell. So, I use this example in a previous podcast that I did is imagine you're a shoe shiner and that's like you're really good at it. You're like the best shoe shiner in the world. But think about the stories that you have in terms of the interaction that you have with your clients. You can leverage those stories and create content to either drive an emotion because maybe the service that you provided as a shoe shiner, maybe it changed somebody's life. It impacted that, your customer's life in a good way because now he's got awesome shoes to, walk away with, right? And just think about the interaction. Think about the empathy, the therapy that's involved because through that interaction, there's a lot of stories that are generated that you could actually share online to build that connection with your audience.
Now, this is such a great connection for me. The idea of self-realization, acceptance that we are a personal brand, and then adopting storytelling to inspire people, to motivate people, to communicate with people. Talk to us a little bit about the storytelling component. How can we become better storytellers?
The way to do that is to be your authentic self. And I know it's kind of like a buzzword these days when people are saying you just got to be authentic. You just got to be real. At the end of the day, your story is your story. Nobody could take your story away from you. But if you package it up in a way that draws at the emotional heartstrings of one person to the next, that's that connection that you're going to build. There's so much power in the story, and you don't want to hoard it. There's a lot of times where people are hesitant to actually push out content because they're either scared that nobody's going to engage with it, no one's going to listen to a specific video. But if you focus on the one person that you can make an impact on, you'll be amazed at what that drives. You'll be amazed at what that connection does for that other person that's listening on the other end. You could actually change a life. I've had many times where I was hesitant myself in terms of telling specific stories. And as a result of just pushing through and, silencing that little voice inside you that says, don't push that out. When I actually put it out there, I would get a few DMs saying, oh my God, Reggie, that story that you just shared on LinkedIn changed my life. Thank you for that. So imagine I held that back. Imagine I was that hoarder. I would have been doing a disservice to the people that I want to serve, the people that I want to create impact, the audience that is listening to my voice.
Well, I totally can relate to that because I think taking our personal experience, people cannot dispute that. They can't dispute our perspectives. They can dispute facts. So if we share our perspective, if we share our life experience, we can educate people. We can inspire people. I mean, my story of the day is that about a decade ago, when I was in New York, I Googled, where is the best pizza in New York? And this place popped up. So I think it was number 3 or so. And it was this place that offered asparagus pizza. And I don't remember the name because it was so long ago, but I ended up going there and had some of the best pizza of my life. It was like a green pizza and it was really flavorful and savory. And I remember reading on the box how to reheat pizza the right way. And it involved taking a pan, taking the pizza, putting some hot water, putting a cap on the pan, having the water steam the pizza while still grilling it underneath, which gives it a perfect, melted cheese and crispy crust kind of a vibe. So actually yesterday I was doing some experiments on TikTok and I said, why don't I just teach people how to reheat pizza because we're all eating pizza at least a couple times a week or a month. So I put this video out on TikTok and, hours later, I kind of forgot about it. And I looked back and it was like 500,000 views. Now, I don't have any followers on TikTok. I'm not a TikToker. I think I have had less than 30 followers. But just by sharing my experience of learning how to reheat pizza and then sharing that with the world, all of a sudden, some algorithm deemed that this content needs to be seen by people. And I think that video on my TikTok account is going to get like 1 million views. So obviously, none of us are going to go viral overnight. That was a total random mistake. But I think it all comes down to storytelling. my perspective on reheating pizza is not the right way necessarily. It's a way, but at least I'm presenting it. And if people want to try it, they can.
But think about the impact that you made there. Now, like that actually you perked up my ears, Ruben, because I simply put the pizza in the oven, like when I'm trying to reheat it. But now you've introduced me to a whole new process that I'm now intrigued about, and I'm gonna probably do a little bit of research on it so that I could reheat it and get the most optimal crisp that there is for that pizza.
It's pretty remarkable. It's pretty remarkable what happens when you give people a better way to reheat pizza. In fact, while we're here, why don't I just do a quick replay of that video? I'll just do a quick little screen share. We might as well just kind of show that just so people can
do it. I'm here to learn.
Connect the dots here. All right, so here it is.
There's the water. All right. Gee, yeah, okay. And think about what you did there. Like you
and that was it. And now it's at 651,000 views. So you never know what's going to happen when you do share your story, who it's going to resonate with,
exactly,
and how you're going to build that connection.
And here I was thinking the whole time, like pizza, like leftover pizza, it's best served cold, like the next day, like next day pizza. It's amazing that way.
Well, I think the zeitgeist is saying, I think three things. Number one is leftover pizza. Why would you have leftover pizza? That makes no sense. That's number one. Number two is to take your toaster, put it sideways, and then put the pizza inside. That's number two. Number three is eat it cold. And then actually I'll add a number four, which is just microwave it. But I think a lot of people were grateful that now they have a new method. I tried it again today. And in my opinion, it's the fastest, because an oven works, but it's not very fast. So it's the fastest and the most effective, in my opinion.
So now you're the go-to guy for reheating pizza. Look at
that. Isn't it funny how sometimes when we're finding our superpowers, mine being, of course, how to repeat pizza, it's accidental in nature. And I think it's just about experimentation. And by being curiosity, putting stories out there, trying to create content, you never know who's going to resonate with you.
And you never know, like you said, who's going to resonate with, and which brand of pizza is going to be watching you. Because Ruben, I have a feeling, this is just a hunch. Listen, I don't have a crystal ball in front of me, but there will be multiple brands of pizza organizations reaching out to you to become a pizza ambassador.
You know what, man? There's already an ambassador for cranberry juice, and I think we need one on TikTok for pizza. So yeah, I will.
You got it.
I will accept that. Where can people learn more about you? I also want to learn about some of the things that you're working on with capturing people's defining moments. You and I had a chance to talk about some really interesting stuff. Would love to learn more about that. Where people can connect with you.
Yeah, so connect with me on LinkedIn. So Reggie Waterman, simple as that. Tune in every Thursday to watch Discover Your Other Self. It's usually at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But this season, we're actually doing a virtual world tour. So depending on the guest, time zones may impact that. But tune in for that. I also facilitate workshops for colleges and universities as well, giving them the toolbox to succeed post-graduation. So I'm doing a tour there virtually. Defining moments. This is another campaign that that's near and dear to the heart. So I will be working with Ruben on pushing out this campaign so that we can utilize Dubb as a platform to actually help people on LinkedIn to share their stories, get comfortable with storytelling so that they can make an impact on the world. So we want to collect as many stories as we can. And if you want to be part of this campaign, I want to encourage you to reach out, and we'll just simply put you on the list and have your story be exposed to the world.
There it is, folks. So thank you so much, Reggie, for joining me on this online summit session. I encourage people to connect with you onto LinkedIn to learn more about some of the things that you're doing, some of the great content that you're putting out, some of the great initiatives. Reggie, thank you so much for joining me. And I will see you very soon. And just hope you enjoy your pizza next time you have some reheated at the house.
Oh, it's going to feel like it just came out of the oven, like it's fresh. So thank you for that, Ruben. You inspired me.
You're welcome. And thanks to the little shop in New York that taught me that trip. See you.